Okay, so finding angles. So when you're finding angles, you're going to be giving two sides and then the missing angle. So since you're on this equation, you're given the opposite and you're given the adjacent. So the equation is going to be tangent. So you do the tangent of x equals 5 divided by 12. And then when you're doing equations like this, you're going to use the inverse of tangent. Just like you're going to do the inverse of cosine and the inverse of sine. And it should be a button on the calculator that looks exactly like this. So you're going to do x equals inverse tan 5 divided by 12, which you should get 22.6. Now in this equation, you're given the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So you do cosine of x equals 4 over 13, and then x equals cosine inverse 4 over 13, and you should get x equals 72.1. And now, lastly, you're given the opposite and the hypotenuse, which is sine. So you do the sine of x equals 5 divided by 10, and then x equals inverse sine 5 over 10, and you should get x equals 30. Here are examples to finding angles and sides. Reciprocal functions of sine, cosine, and tangent. So cosecant is the reciprocal function of sine, and it's abbreviated as CSC, which is hypotenuse opposite. And basically the reciprocals are just the original ones flipped upside down. So instead of opposite hypotenuse, you have hypotenuse opposite. So secant is the reciprocal function of cosine, and it's abbreviated as SEC, which is hypotenuse adjacent instead of adjacent hypotenuse. And then cotangent is the reciprocal function of tangent, which is abbreviated as COT, and is adjacent opposite instead of opposite adjacent.